You must be keeping pretty busy with all this at the moment, I'm guessing. So,
Yeah, it's been great though. It's just been great. We did like about 5 screenings over London yesterday, and it was just lovely to, full houses. So it was just lovely to do Q&As and discuss the film finally. So it's just lovely that it's getting out there now. Yeah.
was that the first time you've seen it with like a proper audience as well?
We saw it with a large audience for the first time at the Toronto Film Festival, which was 3 weeks ago. And it was like the first time we'd screened it, and it was like 1,000 people in the cinemas. It was
That must
slightly
be
daunting,
amazing.
but we got there, and it was lovely. Everyone seemed to really enjoy it, and yeah, it was super fun.
I mean, I was going to say, just given like the reaction to it so far, you must be just so thrilled with the response it's been getting.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of been such a labour of love through the whole process. So for it to be speaking to people just it's thrilling. It really is. Yeah.
I guess kind of to take it right back to the very beginning of the whole process, I suppose. Like, what was it for you about this project that kind of spoke to you in the first place? What made you want to, write and tell this story? I guess.
I guess I've always really loved Emily Brontë, and she's somebody who I really relate to. I love her book, I love her poetry, and I think, but we don't know that much about her, and yet she wrote this incredibly powerful novel. So I've always found her very intriguing, but also I think because she's an introvert and the little bits that we have of knowledge about her, she just seems somebody that I really would relate to. So yeah, that was the kind of the start of the idea, yeah, the impetus, yeah.
And I guess kind of picking up from there, because I think, as you say, she was very reclusive. We don't know that much about her. Was that like an interesting challenge, or did you find that quite freeing in terms of figuring out
I
what
mean,
story you were going to
everything.
tell?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you actually do the research, and there's so many brilliant books that have been, like Juliet Barker's book is great, Lucasta Miller's book. There's some fantastic stories. So if you actually read all of them, there's kind of enough information there to kind of put together a character, that feels consistent and fleshed out and real, and which is something I did. And then, the theme of being true to who you are as an artist, no matter what, even if you don't see it reflected back to you or people don't think it has any value, hang on to your voice, because like that's how great stories are written, I think, by being true to yourself. So I felt like I felt that theme felt very important to me, and when we, I wasn't really interested in telling a story that was like a documentary about Emily Brontë. I wanted it to be a dream, like a story that felt like true to who she was in spirit, but to let my imagination run wild in the same way that hers did when she was writing Wuthering Heights. Yeah. Sorry, that was a massive ramble, sorry.
No, it's really interesting. Like, by all means, like expand if you want. It's like, I mean, in terms of, I guess, like the research process, just
I mean, yeah.
I'm guessing there must have been a lot to kind of get your teeth into, mustn't there? So,
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting about Wuthering Heights is that when it was released, it was completely damned in the press. People were really upset about it. I mean, somebody wrote, why this author didn't commit suicide within writing the first 6 chapters is beyond us. This is a strange book. I mean, like, that's pretty harsh, but she kept all the reviews and she'd put them in her desk and she'd bring them out every now and write and read them. And she didn't get her first good reviews for that book until 50 years after she had died. So I felt like the people didn't really understand the genius of that book, and but the power within the book. So I guess that's another reason, kind of why I wanted to write this story, because I really wanted to kind of bring her into the light and give her that moment of kind of love, really,
yeah.
and say, "We see you, Emily. We think you're great." Yeah.
And I guess obviously it must be nice that the film is now not going to take 50 years to start getting good
No,
reviews as
that's
well.
good. No, it's out. It took me 10 years, but
I guess, kind of on that note, like, what are you hoping that people take away from the movie? Because certainly I going into it didn't really know that much about her life, and so if other people are going into it kind of with a similar level of knowledge, what do you hope that
I
experience is going to be
mean,
like for people?
I guess if somebody, after seeing the film, picks up a copy of Wuthering Heights or picks up her poetry and reads it with some friends, or That would be great, I think. Or just goes off and gets one of the biographies on Emily and reads about it. And I mean, for me, that would be great because I think she was an amazing person and her work is kind of amazing. Or any of the Brontë, like Jane Eyre is a brilliant piece of literature. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So if people, you know, if it just kind of shines light on, or they just take the train up to Haworth and go and visit the parsonage, you know, walk out on the moors, you know, they're just kind of, they're such an amazing part of our history and literature. So, yeah.